Let me turn my alarm off. So this is about to be a story and my long-term review of this bike. Now I have the Eahora, I have the Eahora Ultra too, and it has given me a lot of challenges. I mean, so I didn't know a lot about e-bikes. I bought one last year, and it was a cool entry bike. It did like 30 miles per hour. You know, you could pedal comfortably on it. You know, it was just an entry bike, but I wanted something a little bit faster because I realized that I can like be in traffic or be out in traffic and not ride in traffic. So I decided to take a chance on this Eahora bike because it had a huge battery and it had the speed and range that I needed. But there have been a lot of issues, and to Eahora's credit, so far everything I've had an issue with besides my brakes, they've helped me with. I did purchase a new brake set because initially I thought that the brakes were trash, so I bought a new set. And working with the brakes as much as I have, I've realized that the brakes aren't just, they're just not good enough for this speed and the weight of this bike. So I'm looking in the winter, maybe changing the whole brake system out, getting something a little bit more powerful, but I know how to manipulate these brakes and make them a little bit better. So for right now, they're okay, but I want to change them. So the first issue was the brakes. And the second issue I had was my battery was dying prematurely. Like, it got like down to 40%, 47, 44%, and it just stopped on me. And I had to pedal my bike home. I literally had to pedal my bike home from a mile away, and trust me, I don't care what kind of easy mode you put this thing on, it's horrible. You can't, this bike is over 200 pounds, and I'm like 230 pounds, so that's a lot of weight on this bike. So they told me to change the voltage, and it seems to help, you know, whatever. I changed the voltage. Didn't have that kind of issue no more. But I did experience one time that the battery, once it got below 40%, it started dropping. The battery literally started dropping real quick once I got below 40%. And that was the issue for me. Somebody got the Halloween decorations up. So the next issue I had was my controllers were going out. It wouldn't let me see the speed I was doing at first, so I rode it on like that for like a month. And then after that, it just basically wouldn't let me go past like 17 miles per hour. So I contacted Eahora. It took them like 3 weeks to send me some new controllers. Thankfully, Josh saved my September because he let me use his controllers because he had an extra set. And I was able to ride for a few more weeks while I was waiting on my controllers. So they sent me my controllers and another display, which is another issue I have an issue with. So I have my original display. I have the display that Josh sent me, and I have the display that Eahora sent me. Guess what? All three of those displays are different, have something different in them. And I'm like, if these controllers come off the same bike, why do I have 3 different versions of the same controller? Makes no sense to me. So that's telling me that they mixing and matching parts off of different styles of bikes, because I do know they had a Romeo Ultra 3, they had they have all these different names of basically mix and match parts on bikes, which makes no sense to me. Like, why do you have all these versions of the same damn bike? Just call it the same bike. Why do you need to like put a lesser control? Like my controller, the original controller I had was 41 amps or something like that. The one Josh let me use was 48 amps. He has a newer version of my bike, I guess. And then the one they sent me, of course, it was 48 amps. So that's another issue. If I'm in the same year, the same style bike, why is the controller changing currents? It seemed to work better. It seemed more powerful, yeah, of course. But yeah, I was one of the guys that pre-ordered my bike. I literally pre-ordered my bike, and I have, you know, I had all these issues from a bike that I trusted to pre-order before it even came out. So that's my complaints about Eahora, my bike with Eahora. Now, the good things, I do have good things to say about this bike. It's pretty fast. You know, you can get like, even with my weight and with all the crap that I have on my bike, I could still hit over 50 miles per hour. So I'm happy about that. It seemed to have really good battery life. I don't like the suspension. Front forks, they go down and don't really come back up. The rebound on them is broken. You know, that's another issue I gotta deal with here, where my forks are trash. But other than that, this bike is built like a tank. The tires have been really good. The motors have been really good. When I initially thought something was wrong with my bike, they sent me a motor out, and that wasn't the issue, and then they had to send me the controllers out. So I'm gonna tell you, this is not just Eahora. I'm on like forums with all these different e-bike companies, and I listen to the word. It's not just Eahora that's having issues. I think across the board, because e-bikes are a new thing. They don't really quite have it figured out. So you're gonna have issues, and we all know with bikes, you gotta be able to fix some of this stuff yourself. You're gonna be spending a lot of money on repairs. Trust me, like just dealing with the brakes and stuff, you gotta have some type of mechanical aptitude to deal with this stuff. You know, I'm fortunate that I work on almost anything, so I don't really have that issue with having to pay people to fix my bike. If you're getting into e-bikes, just make sure you got the tools. Make sure you know how to do some things. They can get really expensive. Once this bike shop, and a lot of these bike shops don't even want to work on this bike unless you bought it, you know. So I really like this bike. I think a lot of people will like this bike, you know. I tend to ride traffic. A lot of people ride on sidewalks and all that, but I feel like this bike is too fast for all that. I never paddle it. I just ride in traffic. I live in a place where the police really don't care about bikes. As long as you're not out here popping wheelies and going down the street, the police really don't bother you about riding your bike in traffic. I'm not holding up traffic, riding with the flow of traffic. Police around here don't really bother you about that. And I'm grateful for that. This bike saves me a lot of money. I can't even tell you how much money I save to ride the bike. And I have fun, you know, riding in my groups. You know, we got group rides and things like that. I got friends that got the same bike as me. I got friends that got different bikes, but we all seem to, you know, have fun just riding these bikes. So I think a lot of it just comes down to, what do you want to do with your bike? Well, I know what I want to do with my bike, and I just like riding. I don't like the sidewalks and all that. The trails are cool, but I find out that the sidewalks are a little bit too bumpy for me, so I'm not really a sidewalk rider. Um, I put, thanks to Josh, I put some real on my bike. So I really can see at night, you know, people can see, you know, pretty much bike should be, you know, legal to ride on the street. But I'm not going that route. I don't need a license plate. I don't need insurance on the crap. You know, just to pay me. Or put it like this. I feel freedom on this bike because I'm not paying for that, you know, registration, you know, bike test. I'm not doing all that crap. I'm just out here enjoying myself. And I can ride with the flow of traffic. So to me, that's the benefit of having the e-bike to me. And if you take all that away, then I'm out with just going to motorcycle and put front on, farm and, you know, be a slave like everybody else. I just think we're in this great area right now where e-bikes can just, you know, bypass a little bit of the stupid rules that we have, you know, and have a little bit of freedom. And if you don't know what freedom is, then you need to start finding out what it is, because I want to be free. I want to do some things that don't require me reporting to people, you know? I think that's what life is about. Why do we have to report everything we do and tell everybody everything we do? Freedom is just, you know, doing what you want to do and not having to count. I'm not in traffic acting. As you can see, this bike is sporty. Doing what I need to do. By the way, this is a new camera. I've never used it before. It's my first time actually using this camera. I don't know. I'm imagining I'm here right now. It's supposed to have like wind pockets and all that on it. I don't even know if I set it up. I got to get to the 360 Ultra, Go Ultra, whatever they call it. I chose this one because it's really small. They can attach to my helmet, and the other one that does the 360 and all, I think that's a feature I would have rarely used, so I didn't buy that. This one suits me the best because it's very small, and I can do what I needed to do, and, you know, record. So that's initially what I bought the camera for rides like this. So I can run my mouth. So I could just yap. It's fun. Like riding this bike is fun, and getting out the house, enjoying this weather, man. It's like this has been one of the best September weathers I've ever remembered in my life. Like, it's barely raining, it's 70 degrees, this is perfect, like, I don't know, that's a nice little portion. Yeah, man, this right here, this is free. Yeah, motorcycles are cool. I do plan on getting one, but it's not like a big rush for me to get one. I know people with bikes, they're cool, you know. I think if you just got multiple things you could do besides just riding a motorcycle or riding an e-bike, you know, that's life, man. You just gotta find something to do and get off that couch. That couch gets you to the grave real fast. A lot of people don't realize that your health and everything is determined on how much you keep moving. You gotta keep moving. So yeah, man, I'm testing this camera out, testing the bike out. Okay, you just fly around on a mountain bike. Look at this. I like these mirrors I put on here. I'm gonna start talking about some of the things on my bike too. I might check the battery life. I might check the battery life. Good thing about having a phone when you ride and I'm recording it. Something does happen. I got it on camera. Look at it, he just parked right in the middle of the Hey, parking is everywhere. He jumped outside the street, buddy. Stop this camera and check the battery life. I don't know how long I can record at this setting that I got right now, but everything is new for me, and I plan on posting this on my YouTube and, you know, starting a YouTube channel about e-bikes, you know, things that I'm interested in. Nothing too serious. I don't get political, I don't get religious, I don't get all that stuff. I just do me, be who I am, and that's all you could be, man. So my YouTube channel, I want to start up. Starting up, you know, e-bike. Hopefully, I can. Some of these things. And like I said, this bike, really ride it all day. I mean, I know for a fact it can get up there. I know that for a fact. You can definitely get up there. You need, you gotta look about yourself. Just get one. Make sure you get a nice battery. Make sure you get it powerful enough for your weight. A lot of people like to do 72 volts. I plan on getting another e-bike, but I'm not rushing it because I like to really. They got this bike out as an e-bike, but it has to be registered. It's called a Havoc. I really like that bike. That guy who designed the bike did a really good job. Really good job with that bike. I do like the new goat bike they just came out with. That thing looks really powerful. I like the Onyx. I like the Onyx bike. I like the Sparks. Sparks is making some really good bikes too. So there's a lot of choices out there, man. For $4,000, you can't go wrong with any of those bikes. I just think you better make sure you pay attention to battery size. Because you don't want to be one of these guys that everywhere you go, you got to do a charger. That's what I'm against. I need range. I don't care how the bike look and all this mess. If it don't have range, bro, it's like no purpose. I don't care if it can do 100 miles per hour. If it doesn't have range, then I'm saying, like, what's really the point, you know? That's how I look at things.